This is the Panamera E-Hybrid. This is the base model. It's called the 4 E-Hybrid, and there are many different configurations from S to turbo, from sedan, executive, that's the longer wheelbase version, and even the Sport Turismo kind of shooting brake design. Lots of different options for people to plug in, improve their fuel economy, make an impact on the environment, but also drive a real four-seater Porsche. And this is part of Porsche's electrification strategy. So I recently had a chance to drive the Cayenne E-Hybrid. This is the Panamera E-Hybrid. And the electrification strategy from Porsche culminates in the first ever battery electric vehicle called Taycan. So I'm gonna get in, tell you what this is, unbox it a little bit, and tell you how it might fit into your lifestyle here in Vancouver. Now, before I get into the specifics of the E-Hybrid with this Panamera, I want to talk about the car generally, whether it's the gas version or the E-Hybrid, and just what a wonderful machine this is. And as a size reference, this is bigger than Taycan, the first full electric Porsche EV. And if the one you're looking at here isn't big enough, they make a long wheelbase version called Executive. And the one that I really like is the Sport Turismo. Has that long straight roof and a shooting brake design that is just so different and unique. Basically anything else on the road, and it's a Porsche, and it has all of the same components and goodness as this car, just with a different design. Now here's an interesting stat for you. In the Panamera range in the domestic European market, the plug-in version is the most popular. The best-selling Panameras have plugs, and that's what people are looking for in that market, and increasingly so here. People want to reduce their imprint on the environment, but Porsche also takes that electrification and puts it to use for getting better efficiency, but also for power. So the one I'm driving here today is the Panamera 4 E-Hybrid. This is the base model. It is a 2.9 liter bi-turbo or twin turbo V6 engine under the hood. Maximum electric output is 134 horsepower. And that brings the total system net output to 455 horsepower. That's a lot of power. And this car will make a run to 100 kilometers an hour in just 4.4 seconds. That's impressive. That's the base model E-Hybrid. So how do you drive this car? Well, you plug it in overnight, and you wake up in the morning, and depending on the temperature and your driving style, you're gonna get roughly 35 or 40 kilometers of pure EV range. Now, when you start the car and leave in the morning, you're in E. So you can drive just using electric power. I, however, like to put it in H. That's hybrid, because it's a very sophisticated car, very sophisticated electronics, and the computer on this car is going to decide what is the best use of the gasoline engine and the electric components for any given situation. So the car might decide, I'm going up a hill, I want to activate the gasoline engine, or I'm cruising along at very light throttle. I'll switch the gasoline engine off and use electric power as much as possible. The car will decide that for you. It is a very efficient way to use both the gasoline and the electric components. However, if you want to just be a purist and go as long as you can on pure EV, you can put it in E. So this is the same technology that's used in the Cayenne E-Hybrid, but it's different than Taycan. Taycan is a pure battery electric EV with an 800 volt electrical system. This isn't that. This is used basically for someone that wants to drive their car and minimize their footprint on the environment. And if you live in the city of Vancouver and you're doing a lot of short trips, maybe from home to your office and back, you're not going to be activating the gasoline engine very much, if at all. The next model up in the E-Hybrid range is the 4S E-Hybrid, and that has the same system at play here, but it improves the performance, and you get a run to 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.7 seconds. So, as I mentioned, many different configurations, and all of them have the same basic principles. along with the E-Hybrid that you get in Cayenne. And that's to minimize your impact on the environment for a lot of city driving. But the great thing about having a Panamera is, first of all, it is a wonderful and comfortable car for a long road trip, especially for passengers in the back seat. There's plenty of room back there, but you can take off in this car and drive it as you would any other Porsche on a long distance road trip, and leave it in hybrid, and the engine and the battery and the electric motor will always be working to affect the best efficiency for you at any given time. So as you can tell, Porsche is taking the electrification components of this Panamera, putting it towards efficiency, but more importantly, putting it towards power and getting you that Porsche experience, whether it's plugged in or just driving it as a regular hybrid. This is all part of the building blocks towards full electrification, and Taycan is available now. And don't worry, I'll get a chance to drive that car as well. If you want to find out more and experience an e-hybrid for yourself, head to Porsche Centre Vancouver and take one for a test drive.